Hello folks, Lloyd here again. Welcome to my home on this Christmas morning. I'm going to do an interesting video today that I woke up with this morning. It's not necessarily a Christmas idea. Actually, it has nothing to do with Christmas. By the way, Merry Christmas everyone. I'm going to, the name of this video is going to be called The Why Guy Interview with Lloyd about his demonic experiences, or something along those lines, okay? And I'm going to give him a call. He doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I'm going to give him a call, and I'm going to put it on speakerphone, and I'm going to do it that way. Just a moment here, because he doesn't know I'm going to do this. Okay? And there's a reason for this, why I'm doing this. Hello, Lloyd. Lloyd?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning.
Oh, okay. This is the reason I called. We're going to be social here in a minute, okay? But the reason I called is because I want to include you specifically, Lloyd, in a Why Guy video. I'm recording right now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording. At least you can see my mug here on the screen. Can't see the phone here. There's the phone there. See that? That right there's Lloyd. Anyway. Because there's a reason for my madness here, all right? And I thought it would be a great video, and it might help other people. Because I woke up with this morning, and I thought you might be involved. I don't know if this camera is going to pick up your voice on this tiny little speaker from my phone. That's the reason. Anyway, folks, Lloyd doesn't even know I was going to do this. This was a surprise to both he and his sweetie. There are so many people, how do I put this? There are so many people on YouTube that spout out their, I visited with the devil visited me, you know, I've been to hell and back, and let me see, there's so many videos about that, and I'm attacked by demons on a regular basis, and blah, blah, blah. We've all heard those kind of things, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm reminded of our conversation that we had around our kitchen table one morning a couple of years ago, where you shared some of your experiences with me.
I did, I remember.
You do remember that?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, see, where's my microphone on this? There we go. Oh, goodness.
So I'll talk a little louder just in case.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Everybody thinks I'm yelling. But,
all right, I want you to, because I want to counter. I want to do a counter that there's other options to consider, other options to think about, besides a person's what they think is their experience. And then I want to share with you what somebody wrote on reply to one of my YouTube videos,
okay.
And I'd like to get your feedback on that.
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, don't give me the where you're at now in your mind, but give me a couple of examples, or even more than a couple, of your supposed demonic experiences. Would you go ahead and share that?
Yeah, sure. I can remember. I had a real fear of satanic powers, and because of the life that I was living at that time, I had an addiction to methamphetamine, and it had been a habit of mine for pretty close to 30 years by now. And I really believe at that time, because of my fear of God, I had a fear in supernatural power.
Okay, what I'm asking for, Lloyd, is specific examples of some of those things that you experienced and saw. If you don't mind me interrupting.
No, not at all. I'm riding my bicycle down the street. I was on a bicycle at the time, and I really felt like Satan was just right there on my shoulders, telling me to go down a path that I didn't desire to go down at that moment. I was trying to stay strong. But boy, I tell you what I had to do in my own mind was to say, Satan, get behind me. You know, that reminded me of verses in the Bible that I'd heard. There was another time, and this time it was doubly powerful. I was under the influence of drugs at the time, but I raised my head up and I looked at the foot of my bed, and I tell you what, the visual that I have of the satanic power that was influencing me at the time was horrific. I couldn't even move. I laid there for hours, and every time I'd raise my head, that's what I would see. And so, yeah, I had a real fear of those powers in my life and felt like they were influencing me.
Okay, what about that one, you said, I remember you mentioning something about at the park, something of, you actually saw a demon behind a tree at a park or something like that. Do you recall that?
No, but I do recall the power of my mind telling you of a story that I visualized, thinking that that's what I was seeing, and I had been on a binge for a few days again, and I looked down from a property that I was living at, and there were cops coming in the front gate. This is what I saw, and so at that time, my fear, I started running through the woods. Is this the story you remember me telling you?
Yeah, something like that. You're running through the woods, but I thought you saw an actual apparition of some sort.
No, what I saw was figures in front of me that were details. My mind, it's just, your mind is a powerful thing.
I'm not asking if it was your mind. I'm just curious. You'll understand why I'm interviewing this way. I'm not asking if what the cause was, or where it came from, or anything like that. I'm not asking for that yet. We'll deal with that in a moment. What I'm asking for is what you actually saw, because see, there are people who still claim what they see is true.
Okay, so that day, as I looked, I saw soldiers in uniform. I commented on them. I said, wow, your uniforms are pretty real. I held my hand up over my head because I was being arrested, and I asked if I could just put my hands down because I was getting tired of having my hands up. Okay, so time went by, I was scared. And then all of a sudden, there was just this like, whisper of please come through, and I realized it wasn't real.
Okay. All right. Now, I'll bring it home here real quick so we can keep this short. Is it didn't take for these things to stop happening with you. Okay. It didn't take a professional exorcist, right?
No.
It didn't take a priest or somebody anyway, who, you know what I'm saying, right? It didn't take that.
I do. An intercession.
Why did it stop happening?
Because I stopped doing and thinking about the things that I was thinking. I no longer had that influence because I had changed my mind. I knew that was something that happened then, and it's not happening now.
And it hasn't happened since, all because you changed your mind.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, and for my viewers, changing mind is a Greek definition of repenting.
Correct.
So you simply changed your mind. Okay, now, man, my arm is getting tired holding up both this phone and this camera here. But just a second here, I want to, if you can still hear me, I want to go to something else here, real quick. All right, can you hear me okay still?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, I wanted your feedback on this. A guy on my YouTube channel, and what's ironic about this, I just posted this, my most recent video was titled something along the lines of, well, the white guy was accused of being deceived. Well,
yes.
Nowhere in that video, in the context of that video, did I ever even mention devil, demon, or any of those kind of things whatsoever, because that wasn't the video. That was not what the video was all about. The video was about all the numerous Bible passages that speak of how God is going to reconcile all of creation.
Right.
Okay. What's that?
You used about 10 of them out of 75, if I remember.
You're right, about 75 plus Bible passages. Well, somebody commented that I was deceived. I was deceived because I didn't include another verse. while ignoring, they pulled one verse out, and the very first one that I used, and they said I was deceived because I was deceiving people because I didn't include the verse that followed it.
Okay, cherry picking.
Right, as I say, but yet I went on to explain that cherry picking is not cherry picking if the verse is self-contextualizing.
Correct.
Because if the verse applies to everyone for all time, then it's not cherry picking. Okay, well, anyhow, that video, this guy commented for some reason. He used to be a member of the Y Guy group. I don't believe he no longer is. I've already lost people because of things that I've repented of. People don't agree with me, so I've lost them as members because of that. And that's okay. Let me share with what this guy brought up. Out of context of the video, it had nothing to do with the video, okay? And then I'll get your thought on it. He said, though John Anthon, because obviously I misspelled the name Jonathan, though John Anthon surely means well in his videos and shares many good points, his denial of external, now remember that word external, his denial of external evil forces in this life and age is terribly harmful and unbiblical teaching. I recently ministered to one of his former followers who became seriously tormented after being taught there are no evil spirits. He was told it was all in his head, and that false narrative had a domino effect. I really like John Anthon, but there is something off when we preach against the most serious issues, like an enemy who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. God bless you, John Anthon, for your good intent, but you are simply deceived or misrepresenting the reality of external, there's that word again, external evil, evil in this fallen world. Amen. So anyway, that was his comment, and I want to read my reply to you, but do you have any feedback on that off the top of your head?
So external powers, external forces, for me, those were things that I was creating, those were things that I was doing that was creating different thoughts in my mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are no external things in my life today, in the life that I'm living, that have any influence and any satanic power or anything that anybody would ever want to imagine out there. And besides, I believe with all my heart that when Christ came to demonstrate who we are through him, that he destroyed the works of the devil. It's in the mind. There it is. I can't be any clearer than that.
Okay. Let me read you my reply, okay?
Uh-oh.
I'm still here. I'm just having to scroll down. Okay, I had to put the phone down in order to scroll. I've got two hands due to the three that I used to have back in the days when I used to be an alien from another planet. Anyway, as I wrote him back by saying, I completely understand your position. Since for over 30 years, I used to be a devil-chasing, demon-casting-out idiot who thought I was doing God's will. You know, I could just as easily be, it could just as easily be said that you, Scott, are simply deceived or misrepresenting the reality of internal. You see how I use the word internal? Internal evil within our pagan-influenced minds. As per what Jesus said, quote, from within, out of the heart of man, come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, coveting, wickedness, deceit, sensuality, envy, slander, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within, and they defile a person, close quote of Jesus. And then I said, all these evil things come from within. Did you catch that, Scott? And then I finished it up by saying, your unbiblical, harmful argument is with the words of Jesus and not with me. Also, the Apostle Paul warned, I'm going to have to scroll down a little bit here. Just a moment. Okay, I said also the Apostle Paul warned us of exactly what your deception is promoting. Quote, but the Spirit explicitly says that in the latter times, some will fall away from the faith. And I have in parentheses. Actually, I can just let the viewer see this stuff instead of me. Just a moment. I don't know if this is going to come up. Yeah, it will. All righty. I said, but the Spirit explicitly says that in the latter times some will fall away from the faith. And I have in parentheses, in the completed work of Christ, paying attention to deceitful spirits. And in parentheses, I have deceitful attitudes as per the Koine Greek. That's a definition of spirits. And doctrines of, and in parentheses, about, as per the Koine Greek, about demons. By the way, your phony accolade while promoting paganism didn't go unnoticed. Now, anyhow, okay, I'm picking the phone back up again so we can hear you. Okay. I just wanted something different on YouTube that to counteract all of this. People who say they've visited hell, and yet they come back with no hair singed. You know what I'm saying? And they all agree that there is no escape from hell, yet they've escaped from hell. You see, there's just so much that's going. Like you said, the power of the mind is so powerful. But yet this gentleman here felt like that when I shared with someone that it's in their mind, and they need to change their mind about these things that they want to have it stop happening. Well,
so the experiences I had, why guy, taught me, if anything, the most important thing it taught me was how powerful the mind is. At that time, all that was happening, had a fear that I was going to be stuck there, that I would have to live in that life. But no. After I healed from those delusional entertainments of thought, and those can happen from a lot of different reasons in life, I no longer have to have that fear. Besides, I mean, the more completed that you understand the work of Christ that really was, the less that anybody would have to fear those powers.
Exactly.
Or give them any power.
Well, you know, Kathy and I talked this morning at breakfast about this whole thing, and I got to put my arm down for a second. Anyway, we talked about this, and how we have this good friend that I shared a book with, Julie Ferrarda. I'll put a shout out to Julie. She wrote that book. All of a sudden, I draw a blank. Do you remember it? Hell.
There's hell in it.
Yeah, we both drove through. I drew a blank here.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, yeah, no biggie. Anyway, I shared that book with her because it's one of the best books to counteract the historic. What, do you remember it, Kathy? No, I guess not. Anyway, I thought she was in the room. It was my dog grunting. Sorry, I just compared my wife with my dog grunting. Anyway. Anyway, I shared this book with a friend, and because of the fear that she could be wrong about her belief in hell, it caused more fear in her, and she attributed that fear as demonic attacks. So it actually made matters worse. So it kind of, as far as from her perspective, so it kind of reminds me of what this Scott said about the domino effect and how things were.
Raising hell?
We can make things, yeah, Raising Hell by Julie Ferrarda.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Raising Hell. That's the name of the book. Thank you, Lloyd. So anyway, I can't help but to feel that that's what's happened to this friend of Scott here.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me share one more thing with you before I let you go, or before we start our personal conversation for Merry Christmas. Oh, goodness, where am I? Okay, let me scroll down here.